Welcome to Undeterred, where in 5 minutes or less, we discuss issues that affect women. Today we're going to talk about one of our enemies. Have you ever heard of the dead even rule? Well, more than likely, if you are like me, you've practiced it without even thinking about it. So what is the dead even rule? It's a phrase coined by Dr. Pat Hine. And according to Hine, there are three essentials that are important to women in friendships: relationships, power, and self-esteem. Now, the dead even rule is kind of a composite of these factors, which basically states that power and self-esteem must be equal between females for them to have a positive relationship. The exception to this rule is a woman can have more power if she's older than the other women, significantly older, or if a woman has more experience and is acting as a mentor. We subconsciously learn the dead even rule from a very young age. Because you see, as girls, we tend to play in small groups where a parent or caregiver is present. And when girls start to quarrel, the caregiver often steps in and exhorts them to be nice, to cooperate with one another, and to share everything equally. When this happens, we learn that there should be no winners or losers among females, and that everything should be equal. Now, our male counterparts grow up differently as boys. They tend to play in larger groups and often in competitive games where there are winners and losers, where some person is better than the other person, where they know that not everything is equal. I think that's why it's important for girls to participate in sports so we can learn the same thing. So here's the bottom line. Whether at work or in the community, women often subconsciously believe that if they're going to be friends with another female, everything should be equal among them. Now, I've seen the dead even rule play out over and over in the workplace. See if this sounds familiar. At work, a woman has a group of female peers who are friends, and then she gets a promotion. The gossip and rumors start among her work friends, questioning why in the world was she the one to get the promotion. After all, she's not any better than they are. The friendship starts to change, and the woman who received the promotion often is excluded. Or perhaps it's among female friends outside of work. One of the friends becomes jealous when her friend gets something that she doesn't have. Or perhaps the friend's child does better at something than her own child. The friendship starts to sour because things have changed and everything is not even. Of course, not all women are like this, but unless we are careful, it's so easy to fall into this trap of the dead even rule. And frankly, the dead even rule is a form of jealousy. And Scripture gives a dire warning about this type of emotion. James 3:16 tells us, "For wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and evil of every kind." And we don't want that. So here's the challenge for this week. Start to observe what you say to your daughters or granddaughters about everything being fair and equal. This is not a reality of life. Teach them that they're going to be great at some things, but in other things, their friends are going to excel. And that just because one friend is successful here doesn't mean that they can't be successful also. Teach them to celebrate their friends' success. And for us as adults, be aware of how we treat other females. Are we treating them according to the dead even rule, or are we celebrating who they are and what they accomplish? Until next week, be undeterred.